While some of you might have thought that F1 25 was this year's only Formula 1 game, there's an Italian studio that would like to have a word with you. Yes, 3D Clouds can't technically declare their project to be a Formula 1 release, but Formula Legends isn't shy about its obvious inspiration. If anything, it's a love letter to Grand Prix racing and might serve as the continuation of a long-lost legacy. Let me explain. For starters, Formula Legends is going to be released on September 18th for PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X/S, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. It's an arcade racing game first and foremost, taking you through the adventurous history of open-wheel motorsport from the 1960s right up until today. As of right now, we don't know which cars and tracks are going to join the unlicensed roster specifically, yet we've gotten a first taste through 2 demos, as well as a few gameplay trailers. And what we can glean from our first exposure to the game is a charming style oozing with passion for racing of all periods. Possibly not what you'd expect from the studio behind classics such as, Paw Patrol. 14 circuits aspire to evoke different eras of the sport with multiple layouts per track, depending on the time frame. Modern Belgium will look tame compared to its 60s counterpart with slower turns, safer barriers, and whatnot. Teams and drivers will remind you of many a motor racing superstar, even if renamed for the avoidance of an FOM lawsuit. Ah yes, I do remember the Flying Finn, Nick Mäkinen, or the Red 5 himself, Nick Mandels, or Hans Troll. Just Hans Troll. Though after playing the latest demo and thoroughly enjoying it, my mind wandered back to an old favorite of mine. Formula 1 was one of Bizarre Creations' masterpieces. Back in 1996, the studio managed to build a game that, for its time, successfully drew you into the world of Grand Prix and functions as a time capsule into F1's V10 era. 3D consoles were still a novelty without many official Formula 1 games to choose from, and with stunning visuals, the official license for the 1995 World Championship, and immense attention to detail, it became an international bestseller. So how does this connect to Formula Legends? Well, it's not just a case of 3D Clouds going for a retro feel. Formula Legends, as much as it is an arcade racer, isn't a game in the vein of Daytona USA, Virtua Racing, or New Star GP. Your car does abide to some vague idea of physics, if not as detailed as you'd find in actual simulation racers. Locking your rears is just as much a possibility as suffering from understeer or pushing too hard on acceleration. The car is predictable, yet you can't chuck it about like you can in some other releases I mentioned. You need a level of finesse to control these beasts, something that Bizarre Creations understood about 3 decades ago. Tire wear, fuel simulation, wet weather, pit stops, a damage model, if a bit simple, the handling, all of these factors perpetuated Formula 1 into the sphere of being a sim for its time. Nowadays we might use a term like Simcade. The idea was for you, the player, to experience a Grand Prix with the limited specs of a mid-90s gaming console, and guess what? It worked! Playing Formula 1 these days is more enjoyable than it has any right to be. The cars feel planted enough to where you believe in their 750 brake horsepower might, yet you need to watch out for oversteer, understeer, outbraking yourself, avoiding curbs, keeping your car off the grass to not imitate Taki Inoue in his prime. All the usual you'd expect from a slick-tired machine of this generation. AI drivers are aggressive. Very aggressive, bordering on ignorant, yet the simplistic damage model allows for you to fight back and properly engage in vehicular combat. Not realistic per se, but incredibly entertaining. This combination makes racing feel alive while not overstaying its welcome, with races that last about 5 to 10 laps in most cases. Plug and play at its very core. Such an experience is long gone from Formula 1 as a franchise. Yes, you, dear Overtake viewer, might complain about Codemasters continuously trying to go down the route of Simcade, never living up to the difficulty or realism of iRacing or R-Factor 2, yet many F1 fans or outsiders still find racing games like F1 25 to be difficult to get into. In comparison, a project like Formula Legends seems much more approachable. On the flip side, fun racers a la F1 Race Stars might stray too far from the sport. The same can't be said for the upcoming release. Pit stops, wet weather, and a damage model are just as much a part of Formula Legends as they were of Formula 1 on PS1. 3D Clouds even implemented penalties for cutting the circuit, so you can repeat your favorite toxicity-laced social media debates about track limits. The handling feels precise, with most cars leaning towards understeer in their balance. You can't change your car setup, but with modern machinery, like the 2020s cars, you can choose different compounds to increase your level of grip. That, in turn, might lead you to suffer from significant tire wear and force you to do a pit stop. A minigame provides you with the perfect opportunity to fix your car, something taken out of the PlayStation 2 playbook of Formula 1 racing games. Even ERS and DRS made their way into the game. Sorry, WRS and BRS. My bad. The visual style works beautifully, effortlessly embracing a vibe that makes it look like you'd assembled your favorite Matchbox toys in a cavalcade of color. It leans into nostalgia while not copying the aesthetic of racing classics one-to-one. Furthermore, through this approach, the studio can do more than just replicate what existed in the past. Because as much as I adore Formula 1, or Formula 1 97, my beloved, it's not as if you can't improve upon such a basis. Formula Legends aims to feature a full-on story mode for its historic setting. It conceptually offers a level of variety unseen in any of the PlayStation games. Different drivers and cars will have different perks to spice up the experience, and, for the time being, 3D Clouds does want mod support to exist for the game. Let's just hope they can avoid a Liberty Media lawsuit, fingers crossed. All of these ideas sound fantastic. Heck, if they were to solely be added to a game like Formula 1, I'd probably buy 20. Mild exaggeration aside, there is a downside to this level of excitement. With the lack of an official license, some of Bizarre Creation's greatest achievements can't be replicated one-to-one. The TV graphics of the time or live commentary from Murray Walker are out of the question, even if we were to think of a modern TV layout or somebody like David Croft. In addition, all driver changes present in the 1995 World Championship were added to the game. Going to Brazil, you'll find a different grid compared to Canada, Spain, or AIDA. So, if you ever wanted to give Nigel Mansell a good run at McLaren or improve upon Simtek's fortunes that season, you can do it. A detail that has been missing from the series pretty much ever since, as pointed out by Yannick a while back on our website. These ideas won't come to fruition because of Formula Legends' non-existent license. That isn't to say the project can't express a specific atmosphere to aid its ambitious goals, or help players build their own GP universe. Wink wink, nodge nodge, modding community. One could bring up era-specific filters or HUD elements already available in-game, but at the moment, the project is still marred with bugs and an erratic AI. The latter doesn't really seem to acknowledge your existence and is prone to tumble into NASCAR territory. Sure, it doesn't mean that these problems will definitely persist through launch, though precaution is always advised. As much as the AI in Formula 1 can be fun to race or punt out of the way, you'd hope that with a few decades gone by, we'd have reached a stage of better arcade-type racing. A limit of 14 cars per era, in turn 14 cars per race, might also stand in the way of immersion. Still, I enjoyed the demo. I look forward to the full release. I want the studio to fulfill their promise of a legendary experience, to truly write a love letter to a sport adored by millions and not feel hindered by its unofficial status. I want them to deliver a plug-and-play experience for new and old fans alike. But What do you think? Is Formula Legends gonna succeed the PlayStation Classics as their heir? Or do you find the demo to be a disappointing sign of things to come? Let us know in the comments below. Until then, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, we'd highly appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And, as always, keep racing. Bye-bye.